some 12 gauge wire for around $9, 100 feet. Gonna start another project here. Yeah, nothing fancy. What I've done is trace a Fibonacci on this board. Added some screws so I could tighten around, well, not tighten, so I could trace around the screws to fit the pattern of the Fibonacci. Yeah, and what I'll do is just keep tracing this wire around these screws in the shape of the Fibonacci. And then in the center I have a piece to cut off and then also straighten it out a little. I may use a small little rubber mallet just to make sure everything's straight. Yeah, once this is complete, I'll make my final cuts, and then I'll add these to the garden. This is to help harness some energy that surrounds us. Electroculture, Magnetoculture. I found this 10 gauge wire that I'm also going to make a couple Fibonacci's. You may get some rough edges, and here I usually just soften them or smooth them out with my hands. As you're working the metal, it'll soften up and it'll be easier to work with. I believe copper is a lot easier than galvanized steel. Aluminum's probably a lot easier than this copper. Yeah, I do have to thank Yannick van Doorne. It looks like this would be one of his original designs that he used on his rhubarb. And what I'm doing is just making homemade designs on this board with screws. I traced a piece of paper with an Exacto knife. I used a Sharpie after that. And then now I'm using it to make these designs. The Fibonacci, it surrounds us everywhere. It's in many things. Close your hand, you'll see it. Snail shells, many, many things. In the end, you could just spin it around to take it off. Because of the way I had the screws and the way I had the wire fastened around the screws, I have one small little cut. I want to say 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch maybe. And always remember, whatever supplies you have at home, and anything you feel comfortable using, please use that. If it's 10 gauge to 18 gauge wire, I know that's always good. If it's aluminum, copper, galvanized steel, every metal is going to give you a different effect. And what I'll do is just keep straightening this with my hand. If I needed a mallet or a hammer, I can use that in this case. Since it's copper, it's really soft. I can work it and get it all straight. I do want to thank you for joining me. Stevo, Magneto, Electrico. Again, I want to thank Yannick van Doorne. This is one of his original designs. I'm making 4 of these. I'm going to add this to an Electroculture atmospheric antenna.